Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and thank you for all that you do for us. And I just pray for this meeting tonight. I pray for our country, Lord, as we go through this next election and things that are going on. Lord, I just pray your favor upon this country. No matter who's elected, Lord, I just pray, and we all know that you're in control. I pray for your wisdom and your favor in this meeting tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Cameron?
The mayor's announcements, appointments, and votes. I do have one announcement. I have a proclamation for Community Planning Month. Whereas a change is constant and affects all cities, towns, suburbs, counties, rural areas, and other places, and whereas community planning and plans can help manage this change in a way that provides better choices for how people work and live, and whereas community planning provides an opportunity for all residents to be meaningfully involved in making choices that determine the future of their community, and whereas the full benefits of planning requires public officials and citizens who understand, support, and demand excellence in planning and plan implementation, and whereas the celebration of National Community Planning Month gives us the opportunity to publicly recognize the participation and many valuable contributions from the members of the Planning and Zoning Commission and members of our Community Planning Department who have contributed their time and expertise to the improvement of the City Republic. And now, therefore, I, Daniel Harder, Mayor of the City of Republic, Missouri, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2016 as Community Planning Month, and extend our heartfelt thanks for the continued commitment to public service by these professionals. In testimony thereof, I have hereunto set my hand to fix the seal of the City of Republic this 24th day of October, A.D. 2016. Community Planning Month. That's your idea?
Photo op. I think there ought to be at least a small speech. Oh, big speech.
With lots of whereases.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what he said. Click. Alright.
Little straighter now.
Yeah, suck it in.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Is that why they live on?
I'm talking to you, Garrett.
No, yeah. Photoshop all the red out of your face. Yeah. Garrett heard you all look thin, hang with fat people. Alrighty, no public hearing tonight. I'd like to open up the citizen participation. Anyone wanting to speak about anything? Anyone wanting to speak about anything not on the agenda? Please step forward and give us your best 3 minutes. Anything? Nothing? Seeing none, citizen participation closed. On to the consent agenda. I need a motion and a second for the approval of the consent agenda.
Motion.
Second. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. On the financial report. Welcome, Mr. O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. This will be brief. We will simply talk about the sales tax revenues received for the month of September. For general sales tax, it was $173,796. This was 8.6% less than this month last year. However, we are still ahead year-to-date by 5.9%. With respect to the fire sales tax, $21,673. That too was down from last year, same month, by 8.8%. However, we are still ahead by 9.6% year-to-date. And then finally on motor fuel tax, $35,035. Slightly ahead of this month last year, about a 1.5%. We are flat with respect to year-to-date at about less than a fraction of 1%. And that is all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. Any questions or comments on the financial report? No questions? Again, thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. I need a motion and a second for approval of the financial report.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. Reports from staff. Mr. Cameron.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In light of the financial reporting, or just along the lines of financial reporting, one of the things that we're going to revise the budget schedule. We initially had it for November 1st to start the process. Wanted to get it started much faster, but in light of doing the special review of the audit, I want to give the auditor extra time to evaluate that before we present the financial picture for the current, the present, and then moving forward. So we will get the revised schedule out this week. We'll still try to expedite the budget, but I do anticipate in the budget process this year to be a little bit different as we move through it and we begin to navigate and discuss how your finances are set up and how we're structured as a city and how we need to be structured moving forward. It'll break down into each of those accounts and how you're paying off debt differently and how we need to be paying our bills and what we need to be working on and where we need to focus our attention to. So I look forward to that work session. We are working on it, working on the presentation, but I want to make sure that we give ample time and a good picture of what it is rather than talking about all the spending, about where is the money and how do we need to spend it the best way moving forward, not just next year, but long term as a community and where we're kind of aligned and structured at. So I'll get that report out this week as to when that will be, because people have asked, when are we going to do the work session? Seems like each time we get working on the budget and I get closer into the numbers, there's more questions than I have answers. So I want to make sure that we get all the answers and sit down and say, this is how your water's set up, how your sewer's set up, street, and separate those accounts out. If you look at those financials, a lot of them are combined together. They need to be separated. And so we're allowing that time to be done. Hopefully we'll get done sooner rather than later because I want to provide those answers. I need them because it's kind of like the concept you can't manage what you can't measure. We need to know exactly where those sit so we can make sound financial decisions moving forward. So the accounts have been kind of separated, like on the stormwater and street, getting those things separated as per the ordinance that was established by the voters. Those things are being done. Water and sewer is being separated now. And so getting that report done is something that's, I want to make sure we're ready, not just trying to rush it. So anyway, change that. November 14th, I've invited our superintendent of schools, Chance Wistrom, to come at a special work session around 5:30 to discuss the project that they're working on. One thing that we do once a month is the city and the school sit down and talk about projects that are going on. They have a large project they're going to be putting on the ballot, and so we offered the opportunity for him to at least come to the city council to present. I've been to several presentations where Chance or Mr. Wistrom has presented the project in and of itself, and so I thought it would be a good idea, at least as community stakeholders and people around amongst your constituents, that you would see and have the opportunity for him to speak. So he will be here to at least discuss the project and for you to have the opportunity to engage and ask him questions about things that need to be discussed or clarified about the project. And so that'll be the November 14th project. And then lastly, real quickly, I want to thank the Lowe's Heroes program. I don't know if you've seen the work that they've done, or they've been working on, but it says here in the admin report, the Voice for the Local Lowe's Store in conjunction with Lowe's Heroes program worked on October 20th building a pavilion in the city's newest park, located at Boston Lane and 174. I think this is the third project they've done, is that correct? I think they've been a great community partner, so can't necessarily direct people to specific stores or whatever, but I would encourage people, if you're at a Lowe's store and you see them, to thank them for the investment into our community and for that project. I know that's a big help to the community, but that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Derrickson?
No, sir.
All right. On to future community events. Ms. Keeling?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Future community events for the remainder of October on into November. October 25th through November 10th is Arthritis Foundation Exercise Program. Those classes are held on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. at the Republic Community Center. October 26th through November the 9th is Toddler Tumbling. That's for ages 2 to 5 years of age. This program is held on Wednesdays at either 5:30 or 6:30 p.m. and pre-registration is required. October 31st is Toddler Open Gym. That's for ages 0 to 5. It's held at 9 a.m. at the Republic Activities Building. This coming Thursday, October 27th, is Senior Movie Day. It's held at the Republic Community Center at 3 p.m., and the movie is Genius. This coming Friday night is our 8th annual Boogie Bash. The events start at 5:30, includes hay rides, costume contests, movies, children's games, etc. It should last to around 9:30 p.m. October 31st is our 20th annual Treat Yourself in Republic celebration. That's held from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at area businesses, local non-profit organizations, churches, etc., all throughout town. There will be approximately 30 to 40 people on the map. The maps are out as we speak. It's on our social media platform and also on our city website. October 31st is also Toddler Open Gym. That's on there as a repeat. I apologize. November 1st, 3rd, 8th, and 10th is Arthritis Foundation Exercise Program. Once again, those are held on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. November 3rd is the annual benefit luncheon for People Helping People. That's at 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at Hood United Methodist Church. November 4th through December the 2nd is Todd Academy. That's for ages 2 to 5, 9:30 or 10:45. November 5th is Republic Senior Center Craft Sale. It's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Friday, November 11th, in honor of Veterans Day, Republic City offices will be closed. November 14th, 21st, and 28th is Toddler Open Gym at 9 a.m. Those are on Mondays in November when the Republic schools are not in session. And finally, November 17th is an additional Senior Movie Day. Movie is yet to be announced, but that'll be at 3 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Keeley.
Thank you.
Board Commission and Committee schedule. Board of Adjustments, November 3rd. Capital Improvements Committee, October 26th. The budget meetings to be determined. The date is to be determined on that, so keep informed with your emails and keep in touch with Mr. Cameron. City Council meeting, November 14th. That meeting will be at 5:30, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so be sure to mark your calendars for that. It is 5:30 meeting on the 14th, and City Council on the November 28th. Planning and Zoning Commission, November 21st. We have no old business. We have no new business. So on to other business. Resolution number 16-R-83, resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, accepting the bid for a Ford Explorer and necessary emergency response equipment for the Republic Fire Department. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Chief Compton.
Good evening. The current vehicle I'm driving is a 2006 Chevrolet Trailblazer, and it has experienced a number of mechanical issues this year, and still has some issues that we're going to, when you work the cost-benefit out, we're going to exceed the cost of the car that we would ever get out of a surplus property auction. So when we brought this before the Capital Improvements Committee, was instructed to go out for a bid. A bid specification was developed, sent out for a plain Jane Ford Explorer with basically an XLT package, and that's it. Power windows, door locks, tilt cruise, and a backup camera, which is factory now. And the low bidder was Don Vance Ford in Marshville at $26,986. Part of the emergency response equipment that's on the 2006 Trailblazer will be moved over and reused, and then we need to purchase some additional lights and stuff and mounting brackets for the new vehicle. So we're asking for approval to spend no more than $28,836.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief Compton?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith.
Is this going to include any type of lettering or anything like that?
We have never really lettered administrative vehicles because when we keep them for on an average of 10 years. So when you peel that off of there, the paint has faded so bad back behind there that it's kind of hurt our costs on them. I mean, if that's something the council wants to do, then we'll probably need to budget next year to start lettering all of them, I would assume.
You usually have a question about the vehicle.
Not
Not this time around. Any other questions for Chief Compton? No questions?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Just one point for the record or for the minutes of this is that it still may be a combination of coming partially out of the restricted fire sales tax and partially out of a reserve account. And so we will work, it says in there that it will come out of that reserve, but we may still take some of that out of a restricted fire sales tax to help pay for this vehicle. I just want to make sure that I stipulate that in the discussion.
So that you know, we have a cash reserve account, comes from sale of surplus equipment, so forth and so on, donations and stuff like that. We have $121,744 in reserve account, and as of today, the fire sales tax account has $371,980.
Very good.
Vehicle has about, with the holidays, it's probably going to be every bit of a 12 to 14 weeks. There's no way it's going to get here any sooner. So we're looking next year.
All right, very good. Any other questions for Chief? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. Resolution number 16-R-84, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing the execution of contract for professional services with Roger A. Day, DBA, Better Projects, for consultation and plan review. I need a motion and a second.
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Tyson.
Thank you. And thank you again for the proclamation. In light of it being Community Planning Month, I told everybody to show some love to your favorite community planner, which had better be me. If it's not,
You're
we got a
looking
problem.
sharp, too, for
Thank you.
Community Planning Month.
Well, you already got a proclamation, so what else does he want?
Pizza. I think I'll hold out for pizza.
Pizza. I'll leave orders with everybody before we leave. In light of it being Community Planning Month, we can have some excellent community plans. We can engage the community, have a lot of community involvement. It won't do a lot of good if people can't build here, or even worse, if people don't want to build here. So part of the issue and part of the solution is in this contract right here. I know it seems like a small contract, just $15,000. Probably will even end up spending less than that. But if you've ever seen the ICC building codes, they would stack up probably this high. That's a lot of information, and not only that, that's a lot of regulation. And so we use Roger Day, or Better Projects is his business name, to help us navigate through all of those voluminous regulations to try to help people build here in our community. Those codes are adopted by most municipalities, so it's not like we have more regulations than anybody else. But when you have that much regulation, the key is which community are you in that's going to help you navigate through that the best. And in my experience, Roger Day is very well equipped to help us to do that. And so I believe we will be leveraging this contract to help us gain far more than just $15,000 in terms of the assistance that Roger is uniquely able to provide to builders in particular. In my experience working with Roger over the last 8 to 9 years, nobody, and we've worked with other people besides just Roger, nobody knows the codes better. Nobody's able to identify solutions to code problems than Roger has been. So I view this contract as a very important piece of where we're going as a community development department in helping to assist these builders to and these architects to realize the development that they can dream up and design for our community. That being said, this contract specifically is a little bit slightly different than his prior contract. It does have a higher not-to-exceed amount going from $5,000 to $15,000. A lot of that has to do with because I envision us using Roger more, and I also envision us using him in a different way. And because we'll be utilizing him in a different way than just for the simple plan review letters that we've been doing in the past, we've also redone sort of the description of services in this new contract that Roger provides to us. So those are the two biggest changes that you see in the contract. I do believe this will also solve the problem of us having to come back to you every summer asking to up the amount on Roger's contract. That we just did that a couple of months ago. Somebody then asked me if I was confident that that was enough funding. I turned out to be wrong about that. I apologize. But this will hopefully fix that solution long term.
very good. Thank you, Mr. Tyson. Any questions for Mr. Tyson on this particular resolution? No questions, any comments, any concerns? The last paragraph says the remainder of the contract is substantially the same as before and will automatically renew annually unless terminated by either party. That'll continue on? You're not gonna come to council with these anymore, or?
That's correct. That was the way the last contract was structured, and that
Okay.
turned out to be convenient and efficient,
Okay.
to just continue to allow it to automatically renew. Now, if there's any reason at all to not renew, then it's just as simple as giving Roger notice that we won't be renewing.
All right, very good. Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Tyson? All right, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Tyson.
Thank you.
One thing, we don't have executive session? No executive session? One thing, on your administrator's update, council, please, read through these, on that, especially that first line item about, the considerations. So please look over these. If you have any questions, please get with Mr. Cameron. I should have said that earlier.
I was gonna say the same. I appreciate you bringing that up. One thing I would ask is, there's a lot of information that's going out in the admin reports. It's going out to staff, it's going out as much as we can to keep you apprised of everything that's going on. I'd love to have your feedback. Come by, stop by, see me, chat with me.
If we can find you,
Huh?
if we can catch you.
Hey, that's a good thing. I'm not at home.
That's right.
But I'd like your feedback as we begin to move through and have discussions about where we're going as a city. The things that we got going on, just ideas, and just, I'd love to hear your feedback. But I look forward, one thing that's really important about talking about the council meetings moving forward, what I look forward to is the opportunity to engage the council into the discussion of things that are going on at the end of it, where there's a council report as well. And there's also a work session that we could discuss things about things that are upcoming and going on. So that's kind of what I'm looking for as we move forward, and we can have discussions, especially about budgets, talking about OTC projects, city hall projects, things of that nature as we're moving forward. So, and just ideas and developments and things that are going on. So I just, if you have any questions, anything you're reading, check your emails. There's a lot of information going out. And so, again, I should have brought that up earlier, but I appreciate you bringing it up.
I forgot to also.
I just wanted to extend it so Brandon might be a little bit late to the basketball.
All right, if there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion. Have a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Go Cubs.
Oh.
Oh, did I say, did that come out?
I'm hoping the camera was on.